Imagine you're working on a sales report trying to identify the key factors driving your revenue, but with so much data to sift through, it feels overwhelming. That's where the Pareto Principle, or the 80-20 rule as it's commonly known, comes in handy. But it can be tedious and time-consuming finding the top 20% of factors that contribute to 80% of your results. So in this video, I'll show you how to use Excel's powerful tools to streamline your analysis and easily apply the Pareto Principle to your data, helping you make smarter decisions by uncovering the most significant insights hidden within your data. And you can download the practice file from the link in the video description. When working with small data sets or data that's already aggregated, one of the simplest things you can do is sort it to bring the important data to the top. Here I have a table of medication errors currently sorted in alphabetical order. Instead, I can sort it in descending order based on the total. So on the Data tab of the ribbon, we're going to sort. And instead of medication error, I'm going to sort by total. We'll sort on the cell values, and I want the order largest to smallest. Click OK, and now we can see that dosed missed is the most frequent, followed by wrong time and wrong drug. And if I add a cumulative total here with sum equals sum, and I'm summing this cell to this cell initially, and with the first cell reference I'm going to F4 to absolute, and then I'm going to double click to copy it down. We get the error warnings here. We can ignore those because there's nothing wrong with this formula. And there I have my cumulative total, but what's really useful is the cumulative percent. So let's calculate that. This cell divided by the total, F4 to absolute, and then double click to copy it down. And we can see that the first 5 types of medication errors accounts for over 80% of the cases. With this information, we can focus on these areas to prevent the majority. Of course, because these are medical errors, you might also need to consider the highest risk errors and give them priority too. Here I have a table containing sales by year, category, and product. Let's say we want to focus on our top 5 products by sales value. One option is to go to the Data tab and add filter buttons. Of course, if your data is already in an Excel table, you should see the filter buttons. Mine is, and if I go to the Table Design tab, we can see filter button is unchecked. So let's check it and turn them on. And now from the Sales filter button drop down, I can go into Number Filters, and down here we have Top 10. I'm going to change the 10 to 5. And in the drop down here, notice we can filter by items or percent. I'm going to leave it at items and click OK. And if your data isn't already sorted, you can click on the drop down here and sort it largest to smallest to bring the biggest sales values to the top. And if you want to see all the data again, you can simply go to the Data tab of the ribbon and click the Clear Filter button, and that will remove them all. If you have a lot of data, then pivot tables are ideal for summarizing large amounts of data to quickly uncover hidden insights. Here I have 12 months worth of cost data by department, cost element, and country. And if we go to the bottom of the table, you can see it spans nearly 10,000 rows, which is way too much to scroll through row by row looking for insights. So let's insert a pivot table, and I'm going to put it on my existing sheet called Pivots. We'll click OK. And then from the field list, we're going to look at the actuals in the values and the cost element in the rows. Let's right click and go into the number formatting. Because these are large numbers, I want to add a comma separator, and we'll hide the decimal places. Next, I'm going to right click and sort largest to smallest. To calculate the cumulative percentage, simply add the actual to the values area again, and then right click, show values as, and then we want percent running total in, and cost element is the base field. Click OK, and now we can see the top 4 items account for over 80% of our actual costs. And of course, with pivot tables, we can get even more insights easily. For example, I could look at this data by country, just drag country into the row area, and now we can see that in Austria, hardware, internal labor, and external labor account for 80% of the costs, whereas in Belgium, external labor and internal labor account for over 80%. And this allows us to create tailored programs to reduce costs in each country. Now that you've seen just how powerful pivot tables can be, imagine what you could achieve if you truly mastered them. Whether you're looking to analyze data like a pro or uncover hidden insights that can drive your business forward, my Excel pivot table course is the perfect next step. You'll gain the confidence to tackle complex data sets, create dynamic reports, and make data-driven decisions with ease. And that's just the beginning. We offer a range of courses designed to take your Excel skills to the next level, whether it's mastering formulas, automating data gathering and cleaning with Power Query, or diving deep into data visualization. You'll find links to these courses in the description and pinned comment below. Sometimes we still have way too much data to see the wood from the trees, in which case we can use conditional formatting to help identify areas that need our attention. You'll find the conditional formatting tools on the Home tab of the ribbon, Conditional Formatting, and here we'll start with color scales, which will give us a heat map effect. And I'm going to go with red, yellow, green because I have costs, so I want the highest costs in red and the lowest costs in green. I only had one cell selected, so it's only applied the format to that one cell. By clicking on the icon here, I can apply it to all cells showing sum of actual values for cost element and IT department. And now we can easily see the IT departments that account for most of the labor costs. But we can also see the productivity department is a big contributor to hardware costs. Now another option we have, let's remove this conditional formatting or clear rules from the entire sheet, and we'll highlight the top 20% in each department. So again, conditional formatting, top and bottom rules, and I want top 10%. And in here, I'm going to change 10% to 20, and I can choose from the default colors here, or I can create a custom format. I'm going to leave it light red fill with dark red text, click OK, and now we need to click on this and apply it to all cells showing sum of actual values for cost element and IT department. Next, I need to go into conditional formatting and manage the rules. Double click to edit the rule, and here, instead of the percent of the selected range for all values, I want for each row group. And that's going to highlight just the top 20% for each IT department. So we can see which cost element accounts for the majority of costs by IT department, enabling us to more efficiently customize our efforts. We've explored several ways to apply the 80-20 rule to our data, but now let's visualize it explicitly with a Pareto chart. This is a powerful tool that combines a column chart and a line chart to show the grouped data and the cumulative totals, making it perfect for identifying our vital few. I'll use the medical data that's already summarized. Now I only need to select the medication error and the total value columns, and then on the Insert tab of the ribbon, under this chart drop-down, we've got Pareto chart. I'll click on it to insert the chart, and let's make it wider so we can see the vertical axis labels. The columns represent the totals for each medication error, and the orange line is the cumulative percentage. And we can use the percentage axis on the right to identify where the cumulative percentage crosses the 80% point. And from there we can see the 4 errors that account for the majority of cases. With this chart, you don't need your source data sorted in descending order as I have here. The chart will automatically group it for you. Keep in mind that 80-20 is a guideline and not a strict rule. The actual ratio may vary, but the principle remains the same. A small portion of your efforts yield a significant part of your results. Now, before you dive into your own Pareto analysis, getting your data set up correctly is crucial. It's a common mistake that can lead to hours of frustration. So in this video, I'll show you how to format your data properly, making analysis smooth and efficient. It's the perfect next step to ensure you're extracting the most accurate and actionable insights. I'll see you there.